just a reminder that if you're going through suffering of any kind, or maybe not even suffering, but things falling apart, whether it's in your reality or in your own mind, like disillusionment, I just want to remind you that whatever you're going through, trust that there is a purpose behind it, and that there's a really juicy gem, like shiny, amazing gem, a juicy nugget in that suffering. I was just thinking back to like a few months ago, and this is true, time and time again, but there's a few months ago, I started reading A Course in Miracles again, and I don't know if I've ever been so disillusioned in my life. I probably have. I've had many periods in my life where like I just feel like so absolutely disillusioned, because on this awakening journey, as we become more awake, more remembering like who we are outside of this holographic game, it's like, it's so disillusioning, genuinely, to the core, like to the very DNA level. It feels disillusioning, because you realize like how much these programs, how much the things that you thought were real are not real. And to walk through that process, oftentimes, like I said, it's very disillusioning. So I was just remembering like how disillusioned I felt, how mind blown, mind fucked, or someone calls it blown fucked or something, I don't know, but basically just, sometimes like life's like these revelations and coming back home, it's just very disillusioning or confusing, or I don't know, you know what I mean, like, but this is the thing, thankfully at this point and at that point as well, I'm just learning to trust that and flow with that and embrace it, because it's literally often just a necessary part of genuinely awakening. And so it's not a bad thing. It can be a turbulent thing, it can be a weird thing, it can be an unknown thing, it can be, even a painful thing. But it's temporary. That pain is temporary, and it leads to genuine liberation. So it's worth it. So just trust where you're at. Even the most like brutally heartbreaking open things I've experienced in life have rattled me, but eventually liberate me. And that's because that's my North Star, and that's what I choose. That's what I choose to make of all of my experiences, So yeah, I'm just feeling like I'm in this like such an amazing, liberated expression of myself right now. And I just know that it took those moments of deep disillusionment to get here. And even in those moments of disillusionment, I feel like I felt the seed of where I'm at now, but I couldn't have comprehended where I'm at now. And I don't even mean where I'm at externally as, the mirror, but where I'm at internally, and again, obviously the external reflects that, but just the sheer, like, letting go of these illusions and, like, allowing the truth to basically, like, break you open. Like, break open the walls that you have around your heart, the programs that you have in your mind. I mean, it goes so deep beyond what you even think. It really does. That's why we have to be humble, my friends. And that's, how you really get blessed. And just coming back home to the remembrance of who you really are and what's really possible for you, no matter where you're at. So I think that's just what I wanted to share. Just a quick message, like, whatever you're in right now, you're greater than it. And just use it as an opportunity to awaken, even if it feels like you're not doing it right, or it shouldn't be happening, or it's beyond your depths. If you can just, again, let God in, let God in, let God in, place your faith in God over in your trauma, in God over this reality, which is extremely freaking malleable. And the more you do this work, the more malleable reality comes. And people try to tell you this, just as people had tried to tell me this. And it's true. I'm telling you guys, it's true. That's why I'm here right now. That's why I'm sharing, because back then I'd be like, how true is it though? Like, is it really like that? And it really is, and we all are at different levels that we get to learn for ourselves and experience for ourselves. But the last thing I'll throw in there is that you receive what you believe you're worthy of receiving. And that's been such a life-changing thing for me to really work with. And sometimes this stuff takes time, and time isn't real, but it takes consistent practice to undo the deeply erroneous programs that we have. But this is how you change your reality. You don't change the mirror, you attune within. And it's true. And all your relationships are reflections of you and what you think you're worthy of as well. And that's such a helpful tool, to see everything as your mirror and attune from within. And be really brutally, not have to be brutal, but radically honest with yourself. Because it's the places where we're not honest with ourselves, we remain in the shadows and we wonder why, But really, 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 take that. You receive what you believe you're worthy of receiving. When you're really ready to exit victim consciousness on all levels, because all it is keeping you small and keeping you stuck. Stop being a victim to anything and everything. When you're really ready to cross that bridge, commit, go all in, stop being the victim in your life to anyone or anything. That's where I'm at. I refuse. I might need to feel something through, or if I feel I've been wronged, I still go through the human motions, but ultimately I'm not going to accept being a victim or victim consciousness, because I know I am a creator. I know we're all on the same level, really, when we remember. So what do you believe you're worthy of receiving? And not just consciously, but look around you in your life, because that's going to show you the real truth of what you think you're worthy of receiving. And there's a deep fear for many of us in receiving more, in believing in our worth, in believing and knowing that we really are worthy. But because we have free will and God loves you, God's going to give you what you believe, what you want. And that's why when you let God in, you can start to open the door to new possibilities, because God and you, in this beautiful co-creative expansion, can release all these illusions and just create new miraculous possibilities in your life. But you really have to be willing to put in that work. It's an inner work. It's a devotion. It's a genuine sincerity, to really be sincere, of being humble and letting go of the things that aren't you, that are illusions, that aren't serving you. And again, just really being humble to what God can do for you, which, again, I say this a lot, but I have to. It means putting, your sense of control and what you think to the side and starting to be more open to God, asking God to come in and learning from God. I always say walk with Jesus if you need help doing that, because Jesus is the one that's going to help you and show you how to do that. If you show up as a genuine, sincere heart, genuine student of life. Not trying to think you know everything, that you know what it is, you know what's best, you know this, like, you know suffering, you know what you've been programmed. Like, you know, that's what we know. We know this. Our minds are so programmed with the earthly matrix rules that, you know, are like boxes and limitations that we can't even see. And that's why you got to be humble, because that's what's really controlling us as humans, the things that we can't even see. So when God comes in and shows you all the places that you're still being controlled, that's why you got to be humble, because that's how you get liberated for real. And, you know, that's what I'm all about. And if you're watching this, then that's probably what you're about too, especially if you're still here. Liberation, freedom, genuinely, from the inside out. Free your mind. Free your mind. Stop being mind controlled. Everything changes. If you need any encouragement, any validation, wherever you are in your journey, that this work completely changes and rearranges everything in your reality, let this be it. Because it's true. It doesn't matter where you're at. Because what we're capable of doing and fathoming and understanding is so still like capped to what God's able to do in this reality, because that's just how it is. But again, when we're humble and genuine and sincere with God, then we can start to open up to that and create with that infinite life force. That's what we really want. That's what we really want. And that's what God really wants. That's the return to heaven, the return to the co-creation that we're already in. It's the awakening from the nightmare. Anyone can do this. It just takes genuine sincerity, humility, integrity. So, hope this is helpful. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. I love you all so much. And see you next time.